was, "What are the best and worst parts of your current job?" The woman who was my editor at the time is an exceptionally curious and compassionate person. And after publishing that reporter's story, she messaged everyone she managed, asking each of us to describe the best and worst parts of our job at Insider. It was easy for me to tell her about the best parts of my job. Things like sifting through psychological research and teasing out the most compelling parts to help readers improve their daily lives. But I remember my hands hovering over the keyboard and my typing sentences and immediately deleting them, wondering how honest to be about the kind of assignments I'd prefer. Ultimately, I wrote 2 sentences noting that I didn't always enjoy publishing those signs slideshows because they only skimmed the surface of important topics, and that readers might not be crazy about them either. My editor wrote back almost immediately. She'd take these comments into account when generating assignments. Listener, I never published another one of those slideshows again. Now, this situation could have worked out much differently for me. Maybe I would have landed one of the jobs I'd applied for before my editor even had a chance to ask these questions. Or if I'd had a different type of editor, maybe she wouldn't have asked these questions at all, and I'd never have articulated my concerns, meaning I'd have stayed annoyed and resentful for a while. Or maybe the assignments I was resisting would have been critical to my job, and I'd have had to choose between doing them and leaving. In many ways, I was lucky. What's clear to me now is that there are so many more productive ways I could have approached my own discontent. The rest of this book is dedicated to exploring these strategies and others so that listeners who feel similarly stymied can start to see a path out and make smart decisions about their lives and careers. Introduction. The career question on everyone's mind. It took me 3 years as a careers reporter to crack the code. After countless stories advising readers on how to earn a plum promotion, manage a team for the first time, and ask their boss for help without looking foolish, I'd pinpointed the question people really wanted answers to. Should I quit my job? At Insider, the digital media outlet where I still work, I had access to real-time data on how many people were reading my articles. All I had to do was look up at the Chartbeat app displayed on the big screen television above my desk, in the corner of the 8th floor of a shiny office building in New York City's financial district. Every time I published a story on deciding to quit, I'd watch those Chartbeat numbers creep higher and higher. Evidently, there were a lot of professionals who felt frustrated in their jobs and wanted a way out. Some of them were, in all likelihood, members of the black and gray-clad crowds I could see rushing to and from work on Liberty Street whenever I took a break to stare out the window. In an effort to sate readers' appetites, and, yes, to see that traffic surge, I started publishing more stories on quitting and on related issues like what to do if you're miserable at work and how to know whether you're finally ready to pursue something entrepreneurial. It wasn't just the bump in readership I enjoyed. I loved the way people's voices changed when they described the moment they decided to leave their 6-figure consulting job or start their own business or go back to school and get their master's degree in education. Some people got quiet and reflective. Others perked up and talked breathlessly about the color-coded spreadsheet that helped them make the transition. Always, it was as though they were newly delighted to learn that it was possible to take control of their career trajectory. Then, about a year after discovering this formula for blockbuster hit articles, I got the sense that maybe I was doing readers a disservice. I remember walking from my office to the subway early one evening.